Can't blame you or anyone for thinking this is insane, because it really is nuts.
Okay, so you as well, you think this is crazy?
There's no denying that the price of some of these non-fungible tokens are ridiculous. That's why just a few months ago, I laughed this idea out of the room. Look, John, like most people, I couldn't believe what was going on. I couldn't fathom the lunacy of a cartoon ape selling for 6 figures. But you know what, John? I had to eat my words, because the reality is all these images that are selling for millions, they're all a huge distraction.
A distraction from what?
From what's really happening behind the scenes, which is a much bigger story. So let's forget about the Bored Apes. Let's forget about the crypto punks, the squiggles, and the dozens of other hyped up art you've probably seen on the news. The real story is this: NFT technology will launch the next generation of the internet.
Well, wait, stop right there. The next generation of the internet?
Yeah, and look, before you think I've lost my mind, John, you should know that this is not just me spouting this out and saying this. The Wall Street Journal has called it the future vision of the internet. Forbes has confirmed that, and these are their words, a new iteration of the internet is being worked on, and this will have massive implications for society. And even though, John, I want to be very clear here, this is not me gazing into a crystal ball, just trying to give you my opinion. I want you to take a look at this chart. So there's a company called M13. They're a tech venture capital firm. They estimate this new internet will be a $139.3 trillion trend. That's more than 63 times bigger than the entire crypto market, almost 3 times bigger than the entire US stock market. So there are literally trillions of dollars on the line here. But most people, they still don't get it. And by the time this story becomes front page news, by the time it seems like, oh, this is common sense, it will be too late. And I fear investors who miss this trend, they're going to regret it for the rest of their lives. So saying NFTs are a fad is like saying the internet was a fad in the early 1990s. And if you end up missing this trend, NFTs, because you think it's a fad, or because it doesn't make sense, or because it makes you uncomfortable, I'll tell you this, it could be among the biggest financial mistakes of your entire life. Who are sitting on the sidelines are already missing out on some of the fastest gains in the history of all financial markets. You see, there are several NFT projects that are helping build this next generation of the internet. And what's going to blow everybody's mind is that these projects have nothing to do with JPEGs. The beauty here is that you can invest directly in some of these projects without having to buy a single piece of digital art. And today, I'm going to show everybody watching exactly how, because some of these NFT projects are moving faster than anything I've seen in my 30-year career in financial markets. So I'll give you an example. This NFT project called Decentraland, it jumped 6,443% in 2021 alone. Now, as you can see, that turns $1,000, just $1,000, into more than $65,000. 2021 was an amazing year for the stock market, right?
Oh yeah, it went up about 25%.
It's going to go down as one of the best years ever. And yet this single NFT project jumped 257 times higher than the stock market. So this is not an isolated incident. This is going on across the entire space. So I want to show you another example. This is an NFT project called The Sandbox. If you had put just $1,000 into it, somewhere in January of 2021, just by Thanksgiving, 11 months later, you'd be sitting on more than $226,000. That's 225 times your money. You've seen nothing yet. I want you to take a look at this other NFT project. It's called Axie Infinity, and it jumped even higher. It moved 36,478%.
It can't be right. 36,000% 1 year.
It's not a typo. It looks like a typo, but it's not. That's an insane 364 times your money, right? So you put $1,000 in January, less than a year later, you're sitting on $365,000. I've worked on Wall Street and in finance for decades, and I've seen every single investment strategy you can think of. So I'll be the first one to say that these types of insane gains should not be possible. It should not be possible for anyone to start with $1,000 and end up with a lifetime's worth of nest egg in less than a year. That should not happen. But as I'm going to show you here tonight, when you get into the right, exciting NFT project early, the impossible becomes possible. You could have made all those gains starting with one click of a mouse, John. If you ever bought a stock, you can do this. That's why I say it's not okay to stay wrong with this massive trend. It's okay if you missed it last year, but you've got no excuse for missing it this year.
But you know, Teeka, 2022, as you know, started with a big sell-off in cryptos. We're seeing a lot of market volatility. Are you sure? Are you sure that now is a good time to be jumping into this new trend?
Look, I hear you, John, and you're right about that. Bitcoin and many cryptos started the year with a big correction. January was not a pretty month in the crypto world. But you know what? NFT sales broke records in January with $4 billion in sales. That's 40 times more sales in January than the entire year of 2020.
Wow.
In just 1 month. And that's in the midst of a crypto correction, which you pointed out. So this is the reason why Forbes wrote, and I quote, "The NFT explosion has defied a broader crypto market drawback, which has pulled Bitcoin down this year." Look, John, I know that it feels like the right thing to do is to dismiss NFTs as a fad and go on with your life. I get it. Look, it's the comfortable thing to say and to do, right?
Yeah.
If that's how you feel, fine, there's nothing I can do about that. But what I'm here to tell everybody watching, John, is the kind of money that's changing hands right now in this space can truly change your financial future in ways that have never been possible before. So if you decide to stay out of this market and you decide to stay wrong, I believe you're making the biggest financial mistake of your entire life.
Okay, everything that you just said totally resonates. I get what you're saying, and those gains that you mentioned, they're mind-blowing. But I don't know, Teeka. I mean, it still feels to me like it's just a bunch of crypto nerds collecting JPEGs and other images that can be easily copied.
John, these projects I just mentioned, and I want to be clear here, have nothing to do with JPEGs. Here, what they're doing instead is that they're harnessing NFT technology in a way that's going to transform the world. So the first thing I need everyone to understand is that any digital asset can be packaged as an NFT. It's not restricted to just artwork. And as I'll explain later today, even physical assets, such as this chair we're sitting in or this watch I'm wearing, can be packaged as a non-fungible token. So again, I want you to forget about digital art for now. I know that's difficult because that's all we hear about. Because while everyone is focusing on these ridiculous JPEGs that are selling for millions of dollars, this is like the early internet days all over again. He said, I think NFT technology is going to be huge. And he called it the Holy Grail. He said, this is the Holy Grail.
So he agrees with you that this will be the next generation of the internet.
He does, and he's not just saying it. He's putting his money on the line, which is what really matters. He's already invested millions in this space, buying stakes in NFT platforms like Super Rare, Mintable, CryptoSlam, and OpenSea. John, do you really think he'd be investing millions in this technology if it were just a fad?
Yeah.
No, and he's not alone. Kevin O'Leary is also getting involved.
You mean Mr. Wonderful?
Right. Now, I don't know if you know this, but he also made his fortune in the 90s when he sold his online education company, the internet again, for $4.2 billion. So take a listen to what he's saying now. He says, I think the NFT market is going to be absolutely huge, and I'm going to be a participant in it. I think it's going to be bigger than Bitcoin. Again, ask yourself, if this technology is just a fad, why is Kevin O'Leary so fired up about it?
It's a good question, Teeka.
Look at another internet pioneer. This is an entrepreneur called Gary Vaynerchuk. He launched one of the first e-commerce platforms for alcohol in the country. He invested early in Facebook, Twitter, long before they went public. So I'll tell you this is a man who knows a thing or two about the internet, right, John?
Yes, right.
Well, he's already making millions from NFT technology. And when someone asked him why he was pouring so much money into this space, he said, and I quote, "It's the next big thing. This is going to be massive. The internet changed our lives, and NFTs will do that as well." Again, John, ask yourself, if this technology is just a fad with no lasting value, why are the top internet pioneers in the world that made hundreds of millions and billions of dollars from getting into the internet early, why are they now betting millions of dollars on NFT technology?
Oh.
I went down this rabbit hole to find out everything I could about NFTs because I realized I clearly was missing something, John. Remember what I said about it's okay to be wrong, it's not okay to stay wrong?
That's right.
So I started doing a tremendous amount of research. I started doing real boots on the ground research. You see, over the last few years, I've built a substantial network in the blockchain space, which includes the co-founder of Ethereum, Vitalik Buterin, billionaire investor Mike Novogratz, and Cardano creator Charles Hoskinson. And after talking to blockchain developers, billionaires, and major investors in the space, I kept hearing two simple words over and over again. John, these two words have been the foundation of the biggest wealth creation events in history. They're behind the birth of capitalism. They're behind the birth of the Industrial Revolution. They're even behind America's rise as the wealthiest nation in history. And it was these two simple words that made me change my entire viewpoint about NFTs and about NFT technology.
Sitting on the edge of my seat, I am really curious, Teeka. What are the words?
I promise I'll tell you in just a moment, because these two words are the key to understanding how transformative NFT technology really is. NFTs are actually powering the largest wealth creation event of my entire lifetime. I realize that NFTs are the building blocks of the next generation of the internet. Now, as Medium.com says, NFTs are here to stay and will be foundational to our new world. So today I'm going to explain how NFT technology will change how we shop, how we work, how we invest, how we retire, how we travel, how we attend events, how we make friends, and so much, much more.
I have to say, my mind is expanding. I'm afraid that I'm starting to get this, actually, but I think back, I had no idea that NFTs were such a big deal.
Remember, this is estimated to be a $139 trillion trend. So there are literally tens of trillions of dollars up for grabs. That's why today I'm going to share a couple of different ways of playing this NFT boom, including one investment you can make directly from your regular stock brokerage account. And I'll even give away a recommendation that's set to benefit from this NFT craze. Absolutely free and no strings attached.
So just to be clear, Teeka, you're going to give it away to everyone watching this. So what's the catch?
There is a catch, and I'm glad you asked. I think it's a fair exchange. So here's what I'm asking. Give me a few minutes of your time to hear what I discovered about NFTs. In return, I'll give you the name of an investment that I believe could 10x your money in the coming months and years ahead. But this is something that you need to do. You'll need to act very quickly, because we're moments away from a watershed moment in this market. It's an unprecedented event that, and hold on for this, John, that's guaranteed to happen.
Wow, guaranteed.
John, that's a word I hate to use, I rarely use it, but I think it's important everyone watching this know that this is not Teeka Tiwari making a prediction. This is not one of those things that might happen, we hope happens, if the stars align, it'll happen. This is happening with 100% certainty. Now, as CoinDesk analyst Christine Kim says, it will happen beyond a shadow of a doubt. And I believe this event that is guaranteed to happen will accelerate the adoption of NFTs and this new internet, sending these investments skyrocketing in price. Now, the website Medium.com even wrote about it, calling it a game changer in the crypto universe. I think historians will look back and mark this period as the beginning of a whole brand new internet. And it could happen by March 31st.